Every single day, people in Utica drive down Bleecker Street like it's just another road. No second thought, no curiosity, just another street sign. But what if I told you that you're driving past the name of a man who helped shape American politics and represented the United States on the world stage? And somehow, nobody talks about it. This is what I love about places like Utica. You don't have a massive city skyline. You don't have some world-famous landmark. Sometimes the most incredible stories are hiding in plain sight on a street sign that you've probably passed 100 or 2 times. Today, we're hoping to fix that because Bleecker Street, well, it's not just a name. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Street Sign Storytime, where I travel all over the place for sports usually, and I look for street signs. And this was one that was pretty prevalent and had a really cool history in Utica, New York. We were just down there for some basketball with the kids and spent a day, and decided, hey, we got to do something here. I do apologize. Life was crazy. Did miss last week's posting. But you got me this week. Every once in a while, I'm allowed to mess up. It's the first time. Either way, let's go ahead and rewind to this Street Sign Storytime. Because Bleecker Street is named after Herman Bleecker. And this guy was not just some random local name that they pulled out of a hat. He was a U.S. Congressman representing New York and Washington. But he didn't stop there. He went international. Herman Bleecker was appointed as U.S. diplomat to the Netherlands. Let that sink in for a second. A guy from Utica was representing the United States in Europe. This wasn't small-town influence. This was global-level responsibility. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting, because today when people think of Utica, they don't exactly think, yes, a pipeline to international diplomacy. Sorry, I don't know why that was my Utica voice. But back then, Utica was different. This area, it was growing, it was expanding, it was becoming a real player in New York State. And guys like Bleecker, well, they just weren't along for the ride. They were driving it. So when you see that street sign, you're not looking at a random name. You're looking at a reminder of a time when Utica had serious weight. Here's the part that hits a little different, because this isn't some distant history you read in a textbook. This is right here. You've probably driven down Bleecker Street, stopped at a light on it, passed it without even noticing the sign, and the whole time you were driving through a piece of history tied to a man who helped represent this country overseas. That's pretty wild, right? It kind of makes you think differently, doesn't it? Like, how many other places around us have stories like this, hidden in plain sight, not marked with a big sign, not turned into a tourist attraction, just there, waiting for someone to actually ask, who was this? And why does it matter? And that's the thing. Bleecker Street isn't famous because people forgot. It's just never been told the right way. Because once you know the story, you can't unknow it. Now, every time you pass that sign, you're going to think, wait, that was a congressman and a diplomat? Yeah, he was. And I guarantee you that there are more streets around here with stories just like this. Some bigger, some darker, some that honestly might even surprise you a little bit. So the next time you're driving around, don't just look at the road. Look at the names. Because around here, even a street sign has a story. And I know you're probably thinking, whoa, why is this one so short? Well, I'm not going to get into the whole history of Bleecker. I'm not going to get into the whole history of Utica. I probably should dive in a little bit deeper, but I wanted to tell you that you need to be on the lookout for some more streets, some more names, and submit them so we can have some fun with this. But either way, I can't thank you enough for taking some time out of your busy day. Turns out, also pretty busy. I'm going to hit the road. We're going to find another street sign for next week. This is Street Sign Storytime, and we'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.